Hi, my name is Joshua Mead, and this will be my intro speech. And here's my audience.
Abdullah.
Genesis.
Rick.
Jonas.
Thank you all for attending my speech. Today I'll be talking about my 3 favorite books that have shaped my personality and who I am today, starting from my childhood to my teenage years and all the way into my early adulthood. So the first thing to start out with was the first book that I read, which was The Incredible Worlds of Wally McDougall. The book pertained to a 13-year-old kid who had adventures the entire time that he was growing up in 7th grade. And being in a devout Christian home, it was hard for me to find books that really pertained to what I wanted and what interested me at the same time with following the beliefs of my parents. So they looked around and tried to find something that suited my interests, but also stayed close to their spirituality and their religion with God. And so they found out there was this 28-book series that went into the worlds of a kid close to my age that had a bunch of adventures, a bunch of humor, and had the same characteristics that I did in the way that I was smart, but I was a little bit klutzy at times and didn't really know where I fit in. Moving on to my early teenage years, while my sense of self started to progress from stop being a kid to progressing early into my teenage years when I was 14, 15 years old, I started reading more fantasy books, and that was something that interested me a lot more than just some silly adventures that a little kid was going through. And in this series, it was more about the fantasy world and what you could uncover and what was out of your reach in such a land that was very, very hard to look forward to in a Christian book or something of the sort. And the Inkheart series followed a girl named Maggie and her dad, who had the ability to read people into books and read other characters out of them at the same time. And so this was really interesting to me once I was starting this series. And after a while, after I was getting out of my teenage years and into my early adulthood and I was doing college, there was this book that really stood out to me called Every Day by David Levithan. And it was something that I'd never seen before, and it taught me a lot about romanticism and relationships and drug abuse and things that I wasn't very comfortable with at the time. But it was a great way for me to enjoy a book without having to learn about certain tasks. And this book follows a person, he or she, who goes into another person's body and inhabits them and can rearrange their memories and can access their memories even if they're just in their body for that one day. And he finds a relationship and tries to figure out where his place is in a world where you're constantly changing your body. So in conclusion, books can be a great tool for learning and academic progression, but they can also unlock a world of pure mystery and wonder. And those are the 3 books that have shaped my personality through my early childhood, my teenage years, and my early adulthood. So thank you everyone for coming. The speech is now over, and I hope you guys enjoyed whatever I had to say about that. Thank you.